Hi everyone, it's Tammy, and today I'm going to do a card using the Santa's Sleigh stamp set. This is a challenge that my group has put in, my TT.Scrappers group. So my downloads and we challenge ourselves every week to do a card or do a project with something different. And this week's challenge is to use the Santa's Sleigh. And I love this stamp set, and I really haven't given it enough, like, I haven't used it enough because it's so cute. So I'm getting my Stampin' scrub over here ready, and I've decided I think I'm going to use a piece of designer series paper from This Christmas. That's what the name of the designer series paper is. And then I have Whisper White, and I have it cut in an A2 size card. And then I have this cut at 5 1/4 by 3 1/4, just so it fits inside the designer series paper. And I haven't quite decided how I'm going to use it yet, but I don't know. I had it as scrap, and I thought, well, you know what? Let's see if I can incorporate that too. But I do know that I want to use the sleigh and the deer. And I'm hoping that this piece of Whisper White is big enough. Goodness, I haven't used these at all. They are sticky, sticky still. I think I can make that work. So I'm going to stamp this first with the Versamark. Goodness, that's going to be really close with that deer, isn't it? I think I can make it work. I think I'm going to scoot this off just a little bit. So I'm going to take a piece of scrap and put it down here so that I can stamp off a little. Okay, there we go. So for Versamark, I'm going to use this because I'm using some embossing, and I'm going to emboss this with our copper embossing powder. And I just love to emboss. I just think it's amazing. It was one of the first techniques I learned when I first started stamping, and it still amazes me. I think it's just so cool. So I'm getting a good amount of this Versamark on here just to make sure, because you can't see it, so I always get nervous that I might not have enough. So let's see, I'm going to stamp right on the edge with the sleigh. And I kind of want to make it straight. I hope I did. I didn't even really pay attention to that. So hopefully, and then I'm just making sure this gets a good stamp. I'm not wiggling it, just go straight down, and then I'll pull it straight up. And here we go. And you really can't see anything. You can kind of see it if you angle it, but it's still really difficult to see. So you just kind of have to hope for the best at this point. And then you take your embossing powder, and I really didn't get anything to use for it, which I usually have a scrap piece of paper around, so it's not a big deal. But I'm taking my copper embossing powder, and like magic, you will see the image appear. Isn't that cool? And then it's not done yet. The magic is only halfway through. And we have an embossing buddy that actually really helps with making sure that the embossing powder just goes to where it's supposed to go and not anywhere else. And I have failed to use that. I always forget about that thing. But it really is nice if you remember to use it. Okay, so I'm going to call that good, and then I'm going to save all of this. That's another great thing about the embossing powder. You use so little. So you need just a little jar, and it will last you for a long, long time. Okay. Now I'm going to take my heat gun, and I'm going to warm up my heat gun. Let me find it. Here it is. Just let it get hot for about 30 seconds, or maybe not even that long. And then you can, this is called heat embossing, and you just put the heat gun over your embossing powder and you move it around so it doesn't get burnt in any spot, because you could burn it, but you want the embossing powder to melt, and it will melt into a gorgeous like liquid. Hopefully you guys can see it, but it really does transform right before your eyes, and I just think it's the neatest thing ever. And that is it. I love it. And you can see how it kind of warped the paper a little bit. Sometimes if you take your heat gun and go on the other side, you can help straighten that out a little. But it's really not a big deal most of the time. I mean, there are some times that you don't want it to do that, and you can be careful heating on both sides and just being extra careful. But usually, I mean, just a little straightening is fine. So I'm cleaning my stamp. Take good care of your stamps and they'll last forever. And I'm going to put this one back. And I have some brown Stays On that I'm going to use for my deer. This is not a Stampin' Up! Product, but if you don't have Stampin' Up! Product, I would suggest that you use, or if you don't have this Stays On, I would suggest that you use an ink, like even black Stays On, an ink that's not going to move when you color it. So I would say Memento or Stays On would be the best choices, both of which are available with Stampin' Up! I just happen to have the brown one, so I thought I'd use it. Now I'm going to put this down. There we go. Not the best stamped image I've ever done, but it'll work. I'll make it work. I love the smell of Stays On. I don't know, it kind of smells sweet. I don't know why. All right, so I don't know if I clean this or not, so I'm going to clean it just in case. The Stays On does stain your stamps, so you, as you can see, it's like now a brown stamp, which is not going to hurt your stamp at all. So it's fine. And the Stampin' Mist kind of conditions your stamp as well, so that's kind of nice. Now, I may do another stamp, I'm not sure yet. First I'm going to color this one. And I think I might use my Copic markers to color it. Yeah, I think that's cute. So let's get out some browns. And I always say Copic markers. These are not Copics. These are Touch 5. And I'm just taking a piece of scrap Whisper White so I can color these and see like what color they are, just to make sure that I pick the color that I want. That's a good color. That's a good color. Okay, I don't want this one. But I think I will start with this one. And everyone has, well, not everyone, there are different ways to use the alcohol markers, and you do whatever you know is works for you. I personally like to start with my light color, and then I color that everywhere, And then I'll go over with my dark color, like the highlighted areas, and then I go back over it with my light color. You'll see here what I do. And the alcohol markers are great because you can blend really well. Okay, so then now I'm going to take my next darkest one. Oops. I don't know if it's this one or the other one. Let's see. Okay, it was that one. And I'm going to just put it where I feel like it would be darker. And then I'm going to take my lighter one and just kind of go over that edge so it won't be so crisp. And as these dry, they get a little lighter. And I might want a little bit more. And then I'm going to take this one and it's kind of fun to color with alcohol markers because you can kind of play a little bit and see what works and what doesn't work, and you really can blend them, which makes it really neat because I don't know, you get different ideas and different colors together, and it's just fun. I enjoy it. All of those adult coloring books and stuff, I think this is what it's about. I mean, it's just relaxing and it's just nice. Back to the basics. Okay, so I'm going to let that kind of dry and get a little bit, you know, so I see its true colors before I do anything else. And I am going to make his nose red with this Dazzling Diamonds. And I have some scrap over here that I got when I placed a Unity candle order, or Unity stamp order, and they sent me some extra stuff. I thought that this might be cute if I glued it down somehow, I don't know from where to where, maybe from here to here, and then put a bell on it over here. Now, because of the bell, this would be a card I'd either need to put in a present or I would need to hand deliver this card. I wouldn't be able to send this through the mail without special attention being paid. Okay, my husband is home, so hold on a minute. Okay, so let's see here. I think that's still a little harsh, so I'm going to take my lightest color again and just kind of try to blend that line just a little bit more. And I kind of lost his eye in there, so I'm going to take my black Sharpie and let me see what, okay. And I think I want to make his feet or his hooves a little darker, so I'm just going to use a darker color. All right. And I think I want to put, I'm going to get my real red out because the background is green. I think I'll use the real red, and his nose will be red. And I'm just going to do the edges. Like that. And I think I'm going to put a present or two in here. Or maybe all three. That might be a window. Okay, so let's see here. All right, so where's my Stampin' thing? Here it is. Okay. I am going to, how do I do this? Stamp this down. I think that I could get by with just putting a piece of scrap over this because it's pretty. Yeah, I think I'll be good. Okay, so I'm going to use my black stays on for this. And I'm just going to make sure that inked it up, okay? I think I need to add more ink to my stays on. That's okay. I'll make it work. So yeah, there's that package. And then covering both of these. Well, that didn't do very good, did it? Sorry, my head is in the way. have to be able to see what I'm doing. There, that's better. Okay, yay. So now I will color those in before I finish. We have bows too. I might use a bow from that set as well. I don't know yet. Let's color them and see what I come up with. Let's see. I think I'll do one that's red. And on these, you know what? I think I'm going to use the Stampin' Right markers. Real red. And our Stampin' Right markers are very nice. On one side is a pointed edge, which I don't have to be using for this. The brush side would actually probably be better. But you can make a thin line with this fine tip, and then there is a brush tip on the other side. I will show you that in just a second. I'm going to use Garden Green, and here's the brush tip for this one. That's a little easier to color with. And then I think I will use, let's see, maybe, oh no, maybe this one. I think this is Delightful Dijon. Yes. I'm going to use this one for the green bow. And then I think I will use, let's see, what color do I want to use for this one? I think I'll just go ahead and use the Garden Green for that gift. I'm going to go ahead and color his nose while I have it. I don't think I'm going to use those bows, actually. I think I'll just leave them empty, or packages just like that. Okay, so then now I'm going to take some tacky glue and glue my string down, kind of like that. And I think that that's fine, just actually laying just like that. Excuse me. I need a drink. I don't know if it's better to put it on the string or on the card, but excuse me. Okay. Whew, and then I'm going to put the bell right there. I guess I need to stick this stuff down, so I'm going to put some ATG tape on the back of my designer series paper and just center this up, but I made it so it goes to the edge of the card. And then I think I'll pop dot this. Woo. Okay, so the edge of the dimensionals is totally usable, so be sure that you use that too when you're doing your dimensionals. Don't throw it away just because the edge is all you have left. The edge is the same stuff. You just can cut it to whatever size you need it. I even like to use the edging when I do a shaker card sometimes, because I'll just make the shaker the same size as that, and it just gives you a complete box to put whatever shaker stuff you want inside. I love how quickly that art glitter glue dries. Okay, I just need for his nose to dry. And our card is done. Yeah, I think I'm done. I think that turned out really cute. I hope you guys liked it. This stamp set is really, really neat. There's lots of really good images. You could have put anything in here, even a little bear. Isn't he cute? And let's see, maybe I will go ahead and put a sentiment on here too. Just to finish it up totally. I'll just use our basic black for this. I'm just going to put it right here on the bottom. Okay, so that one finishes it up. I hope you guys like it, and if you guys are interested in getting anything that you saw here, my shop is open 24/7, and the link is down below, and I'd love for you to be a customer. And I guess that's it. Have a very Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, whatever it is that you celebrate. And yay, happy card making. Bye-bye.